What is up, everybody? Bobby here, the Geek Guru. Geek, definitely guru, I don't know. So today we're going to do something a little differently. We're going to show a little Mutant Mudds Deluxe while I talk about the Nintendo NX. There are a lot of rumors floating and flying all over the place right now. What NX is, when it'll be out, all that stuff. I personally, I just want to go over some things that I think it will be, but not only that, what I want it to be, more or less. Not so much what I'm not saying that this is legit or anything. This is more what I want. I think number one, what I want is I want people to stop with the rumors, stop with the high expectations. We're expecting something that's not going to hit, and then all of a sudden people are going to get mad. Just let it go. It's okay to speculate and all that stuff, but just don't hold too much into it. I will say this, no matter what Nintendo puts out, I will own it. I love Nintendo, I love their games, I love everything that they do. Minus the whole amiibo thing, because you guys heard that the last time, but, you know, that's more or less my upset with the hoops that we have to jump through in order to get, not necessarily Nintendo themselves. I just wish that they would straighten it out a little bit. But that said, that aside, if you ask me right now, Bobby, what do you want out of the NX? Here it is. Number one, I want something as powerful or very close to the power of a PS4 and an Xbox One. I don't want something less powerful or anything like that. I want something that's like ready to go head to head. Number two, I want Nintendo to recognize that Sony and Microsoft are their competitors. Go back to the days of Sega. Go back to the days when you just wiped the room, you mopped the floors with them. And I really believe that you can do that again. It's going to take some work, but the number one is acknowledging them and going after them. Go after them with ads. You know, compete with them. Don't be afraid of them. You are better than them when you put your mind to it. All of your games worked this year. You put out Splatoon, which was an online shooter, and it worked. So I feel like you had that going for you. Like, your stuff works. You had when Assassin's Creed wasn't working, and Halo wasn't working, and when Little Big Planet wasn't working, and all these different games, Drive Club was failing, and all that. You guys came out and you were like, here's our games, here's our Smash, here's our Mario Kart, here's our everything, and it's working. And it runs smoothly and seamlessly. Like I said, Splatoon goes head to head with all these online games, and it's not a problem. So I think you guys can definitely compete when push comes to shove. You just need to shove back. That's my feeling. I don't want gimmicks. Enough of the gimmicks. I don't mind if you do something with the gamepad, just as long as it's not the only thing I have to play with. I would prefer to have something similar to the Pro controller bundled in with it, and then the gamepad, if that carries on, so if I have a Wii U, I can basically carry that on to this one. I would prefer that. Just for games like Mario Maker and Splatoon. Like, I think there's a use for certain games. I think the problem was you tried to cram this one down our throats and say that there was something that you needed use for it, when ultimately you really didn't. Everything basically played pretty much without it, and it was good. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse would have been a 10 times better game, in my opinion, if we didn't have to use the gamepad, if we didn't have to draw, if it was just a side-scrolling 2D platformer. The game was beautiful with the clay and all that stuff. I just felt like forcing us to use the gamepad and to draw with it and all that, it kind of took away from the game, because I'm looking down at this gamepad rather than looking at the screen. So to me, that was a letdown. I don't necessarily need third-party support to be huge, but I would like some. I would like to have a Madden-type game, or a football game, or FIFA, or something. Like, bring some of those games back. I don't necessarily need mature games on there. If you get a Grand Theft Auto, that's great. If you get a Red Dead Redemption, that's awesome. Stuff like that. Like, but I don't need a bunch of these third-party ports that aren't as good. If people are going to bring stuff over, at least make it worthwhile. I know in the beginning you're going to get a lot of ports because that's just how it is. Just at least make it on to par with the other ones. Like, the biggest one was Mass Effect 3 with the Wii U. EA puts out a port of Mass Effect 3. Meanwhile, they bring out a trilogy version on all the other consoles. Like, why didn't they port that over? That would have been a better move. What I would like to see with the NX is, if they are going to go the route of a hybrid, I would like the home console to come out first. Get that out of the way first. Hit me with a $200 price tag. I'm good to go with that. Then a year from then, a year from that launch, if you want to turn around and say, hey, by the way, we have a hybrid handheld coming out where basically you bring this hybrid into the house, it locks in, you use it as a controller, but then when you go on the road, you can actually continue to play your games that you've left off at home. I'd be good with that, and I would like that a lot. And then if you want to hit me for another $200 a year later, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. Even if you were to say, hey, look, we're going to bring out this whatever, this NX, I don't know what they're going to call it, but if we're going to bring out this NX right now, we're going to charge you $300. Then, a year from now, we come out with this hybrid handheld that attaches to it, that's another 200 bucks. I really think you could get away with that, and I think a lot of people would just go for it. Especially if the hybrid situation is very good, if the remote play is really good. But it's not a make or break for me, I'm not really worried about it. What I really want is I want Nintendo to get back to the basics. And by the basics, to me, the best system they ever had was a Super Nintendo. They had support from the third parties. They had great first party games. I just want them to go back to basics. I just want them to say, hey, look, when we did the Super Nintendo, we owned everything. And we did it because we created great games. We had a lot of third party support. It was a team effort all across the board. Get them third parties back in. Get them third parties working with you. Enough of the gimmicks with all this other stuff. Like, the only gimmick I want to see is a hybrid. If you're not going to release a hybrid, I don't want motion controls, I don't want VR, I don't want none of that. I just want a solid game system that gets you back on the radar and gets you winning, or at least coming close to PlayStation and Xbox. I don't need you to win. I just need you to be on par with them and being very good and being aggressive and going after these big third-party exclusives to come and make Nintendo their homes. The other thing is I want you to go aggressively after the indies. The indies are your second tier. You basically have your first party, your third party. I would call indies like a 3A or something like that. Like, they are third parties for the most part, but they're not as big financially. I would like you to go get some of those games and make them exclusive. Sign a yacht club, bring them in-house. Get an Image and Form, bring them in-house where they're making games that are exclusive to you, and give them their freedom so that way they're willing to do stuff, but let them spread their wings a little bit. And I would like you to just start bringing in more indies and treat them like they're golden children that they are. They're making some great games. Give them that limelight, give them that props that they truly deserve. They need it more than ever, and they need a big, huge push from you guys. That's the other thing. Lastly, what I want is, you got DNA now. There's a couple things we need to fix. Get voice chat. I've been playing the PS4 a lot lately. Got to play some time with voice chat and playing with TOBY, with party chat, and him and his friends playing Grand Theft Auto 4 with Mike Drummy and TOBY and Alex and Peter and all that. It was a lot of fun, and why? Because you got to sit there and BS while you're playing the game and enjoying time together. And so to me, get the voice chat once and for all. You don't have to have it. Lock it under parental control if you're afraid that little kids are going to get on there. Last thing that I need out of you guys is I need a strong mobile app. I need a mobile app like the PlayStation app, where I can actually order a game at work or at the mall or whatever. Just order it right there. Click download. When I come home, it's already downloaded. I am 100% digital with Nintendo. Every game that I own, for the most part, on my Wii U is digital. I would say I'm 98% digital on my Wii U, and that's only because early games that I didn't have are physical copies. And I will get Mario Maker physically, but like Yoshi's Woolly World, that's digital. Xenoblade, that's digital. All these games will be digital for me. On my 3DS, again, I'm 98% digital. Ever since I got Animal Crossing, I switched over to digital, and that was it. Like, everything's been digital ever since. I think I have 3 games that are physical, and that's it. Everything else is straight over to digital. So, give us still the external hard drive support. Give us a bulkier, hard drive with this thing. 32 gigs is not enough. Even if you went 200, 250, even if you went 500 and just said, hey, we'll also allow you to do an external hard drive, I'd be happy with that. So let's recap. This is what I'm looking for. For Nintendo to get back to basics, get aggressive, go back to the Super Nintendo. If you want to relive the history, relive the Super Nintendo era, when you guys went head-to-head with Sega and went after them. So that'd be number 1. Number 2, I want voice chat. That's just it. Number 3, if you're going to do hybrid, do it in a phase. Give me a big, meaty console. Charge me $300, whatever. Then a year later, introduce this hybrid handheld that will connect to it. It doesn't have to be all in one at the launch, so that's why you're hitting me for $500-600. Break it out a little bit, phase it out, so I have a year to save, whatever it may be. Do away with the gimmicks. That's number 4. Number 5, we want a digital app, and number 6, voice chat. So if we can get those things, everything I feel, that's what I'm looking for. If I can get those things, I'd be happier. Again, I'm getting this system regardless if Nintendo gives us this or not, just because I love Nintendo and I want to continue to support them because they make amazing games. Games that work. And it's just how it is. Like, there's people that are going to dispute that, but guess what? Nintendo, you didn't hear one thing about Nintendo saying, anybody saying like, hey, these games didn't work this year. This year, last year, Nintendo's games worked, while the competitors, their games didn't work. So that's how I say it. So that is all. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. What are your ideas for the NX? What do you want to see? Let me know. Comments below. Leave a comment. If you like this video, share it with all your friends. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Check out Team Geek. All the links are down below. We have the Facebook group, Geek Guru. Check us out. Join it. Hang out with us. We have a lot of good fun. We hang out, we play games like Splatoon and GTA now, and all these different games. So that is all. Thank you again for watching. Peace, mother.
Pass the road to your house that you never called home, where they turned out your lights, though they say